We are joined by Will Anderson, editor-in-chief of our partner, the Dallas Business Journal, to talk about what is going on with North Texas malls. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, there's a lot going on.
There is, and of course the big thing we have to talk about, is this announcement, just this week about Nordstrom closing Dallas Galleria.
Right.
What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's not too surprising these days to hear about a big anchor store closing at a mall. It is a little surprising to happen at the Galleria, which of course is still a very successful mall for North Texas. There's 200 plus stores. It just got one of those Netflix house, one of only 2 in the country. So that is a little surprising, but yeah, it's not exactly new that it's hard to be a department store in a mall nowadays.
Can we talk about that? Because I think, when you think about your big stores like those, especially with these mega shopping centers, you think that those places are going to be safe. And of course, you're saying that's not been the case. We've seen that. Why is that happening? Why are we seeing that?
You have a confluence of multiple factors going on, but there's the rise of online shopping, right? We all get a lot of our stuff online nowadays, so less foot traffic in malls, and there's just general financial trouble for a lot of these big retail chains. That's not necessarily the case with Nordstrom, I'd say. The company, it was just recently bought back by its original founders, an investment firm, and they didn't say much in their statement about why they were closing, but they are focusing a lot on their Nordstrom Rack, kind of discount clearance chain. But yeah, it's like there are so many things that are kind of working against malls now, and so more widely, I think, yes, you will continue to see anchor stores have a tough time. I mean, think about the Netflix house I was mentioning. That opened in a former Belk department store at the mall. So a lot of them are changing to something new, maybe experiential or kind of like entertainment focused, as opposed to just being the department store that has to compete with Amazon, Walmart, Target.
So kind of piggybacking off that, we talk about, people, I think everyone probably has some memory of going to the mall as a teenager, hanging out there with friends. It's such a part of just being social. So do you kind of see this as kind of a shift in what we're using malls for when you talk about those more experiential things? Or is this kind of just, what does this look like for North Texas?
Well, maybe it's a return to form too, to get young people coming in, hanging out, doing things that they talk to their friends about. I've heard people going back to the malls. I mean, look, I've got young kids. It's fun to go just walk around a mall, even if it is a little empty these days. There's a lot there. So yeah, maybe a return to form in some ways, but it is definitely, to your point, that's the evolution that a lot of them are trying to move into if they're going to survive.
That gives me hope that your kids want to go to the mall, because I love the mall so much. In other mall-related news, DVJ had a really in-depth piece this week inside the shops at Willow Bend, the mall where the Dallas Stars are looking to perhaps be their new arena. What can you tell us about this?
Right. Yeah, we know the shops at Willow Bend are going to be redeveloped. They're going to be replaced with something new. Everyone's wondering, is that going to involve the Dallas Stars? Because the NHL team is considering that as a potential arena site. There's no guarantee they'll move. But that got us wondering, just what does it look like inside that mall? It's pretty empty. I mean, we found some people walking dogs even. We found them getting their exercise in. Lots of places closed, the food court empty, lights off in a lot of stores. So it speaks to the point that we're raising about just what are these malls even for? And in that case, it's for, it's waiting for a mixed use development. In the meantime, shop owners, some of them who've been there for 20 plus years, when it opened, it opened, by the way, with the first Apple store in Texas. It opened to this bright fanfare. Some of these shopkeepers have been there for 20 plus years, and they're wondering, they're still confused about what's happening exactly. So they're waiting to hear more answers, and kind of everybody is, because it's up in the air what the Stars are going to decide to do.
Yeah. Well, times are changing. It breaks my heart a little bit hearing about the transition of the mall, but that's happened in North Texas. Thank you so much for being here and really giving us more context about this news we got this week.
Thank you.